Hello everyone, it's Brandy Cox here with BrandysCards.com. Today is another Masculine Monday. That's right, I am excited. I have got another masculine card for you. And so today we're going to do the really cute stamp set called Wild and Sweet. It's got a panda in there and a raccoon. I love this set, and I'm going to show you how to stamp it and then bring it to life. And we're going to make another card that you could send to one of the special guys in your life. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So you're going to need Memento black ink. So that's what you're going to need first off. And then I also have early espresso. So I'm going to kind of come over here and I am going to show you this fun cutout. It's called the deckled rectangles. I just think these are the coolest thing ever. So we're going to use those today. And if you have your rectangles, I think this is rectangle number 3. That's right. So if you're counting from the outside in, this is number 3. So we're going to use this rectangle today. I also have my Stamparatus here. So I love my Stamparatus. It's pretty fantastic. I just think it's really, really nice when you're trying to, actually I'm going to get another block. When you're trying to get a really nice, what do I want to say, like a really nice image that is crisp, right? So one of the cool things about the Stamparatus is you can open it and then stamp it and open it and stamp it. And as long as you have your cardstock in place with your magnets, you should be totally fine to do that. So I have already placed my rectangle in here, and I like to kind of put a block underneath my Stamparatus to kind of give me some leverage. And so I have Memento black ink. I'm going to ink that up, and so I'm going to start out with this adorable panda, and I'm just going to kind of move around and add some ink on this. Now again, I'm not too concerned about it being perfect this first time, again, because I know that I can make it darker just by stamping it another time. So here we go. I'm going to stamp it straight down and straight up. Perfect. Now I am going to add some more ink down here. Just add some more, and you can see that, to make it just a wee bit darker, I might just need to add a little bit more. So give it a nice good push. Oh, isn't he beautiful? I just love it so much. And so I might just add a little bit more to this middle area. I don't want to get too much. So, I probably need to woe back, but I am going to do it one more time, just kind of right in that middle area. So I think that's perfect. So that worked out great. So one thing that I do recommend, but before I did this video, I hadn't thought about it. I actually cut my rectangle out ahead of time. But next time, maybe what would be easier is if you took a piece of cardstock, your basic white cardstock, and then just stamp your panda, right? So just go ahead and ink it up and then stamp it, and then use your deckled rectangle. So let's see, I don't know if yeah, so that worked out. He should have been down a little bit more, but this was really just to kind of give you the example. And so then you would find the right rectangle and die cut around him this direction. So, that probably would have been easier than putting him perfectly inside there. But that worked out too for me today. So, that wants to stick to that, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and I think while we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp our raccoon. So one of the cool things about the Stamparatus, this comes right off, really nice, super easy. So let's go ahead and add our raccoon. So there he is, and here is my piece of paper. And so I just need to, you could do one of two things. If you have a clean stamp, you could set your raccoon down on your paper and then kind of pick it up that way. And we want to make sure that we use our magnets the best that we can so that it doesn't move around on us. Yeah, so that we can go back in and do that second stamp. So let's ink up our raccoon, and I'm going to ink him up in Memento Black again. And we are going to stamp him straight down, kind of give it a good push. Oh, isn't he awesome? Oh my gosh, so cool. So, so cool. And that's just black and white, which I think is really neat. Oh, that is perfect. Okay, so I am going to be done there. I am super happy with how that turned out. So nice. So, so nice. So I am going to just take this piece of scrap paper and put this in here for now until I can get back to my Stamparatus and do some cleaning. Okay, so let's move on to our card for today. So you're going to need an old olive stamp. Hello. We're going to need an old olive stamp pad. So I had to go get one. I actually forgot it, so I had to go get it. But old olive is what we're going to use today. Not only are we going to use old olive, but we're going to use Bamboo Beauty. I mean, how fitting. We're doing a panda, so we're going to use some Bamboo Beauty. Now, in the Bamboo Beauty, Bamboo, these are actually two different stamps. And so I kind of positioned them on my big block, kind of how I thought they looked kind of cool. So that's kind of how I did that. And I might actually bring them just a little bit closer. So let's kind of offset them a little bit, bring them a little bit closer. So I have old olive ink, and I also have an old olive ink and old olive cardstock. So I'm just adding a bit of ink here, and then I am going to stamp. And as a matter of fact, I feel like they're still too far apart, so I can kind of see it already. So I kind of want them maybe a little bit closer, something like that. So there we go, that'll work. So we're going to stamp this right in there. And so what we're doing is we're just kind of creating a fun background for our panda card. And then you can flip your block around and then kind of change kind of the orientation so it looks like you are got a lot of bamboo around you, right? And it looks a little bit more natural. And so let's flip it again and maybe kind of have it go that direction. Perfect. And then let's stamp it maybe one more time in the close end of the bamboo. And this one can go more this direction. So we'll go a little bit straighter up. I think that's nice. So then what I have is I've actually, in this bamboo stamp set, there's also this kind of, kind of fun leaf. And so I am going to take this leaf and just kind of stamp it like that. So you're going to be able to see that depending on where you stamp it on the card, you'll be able to see that. And it just adds a little something, just a little something extra to that background design. So that is it for this. Now, while you're doing that, you know what? Let's do one more thing. I have an extra piece of old olive here, and I love to decorate that envelope. So while we're here, let's go ahead and do that. Let's decorate our envelope. We're going to ink it back up. We've got the old olive, and let's see what we have. Let's just go straight up and down on that one. Gosh, I love this bamboo. Love it. Love, love, love it. So fun. So, so fun. And so just by kind of turning my block, you kind of get different angles of the bamboo. So it really kind of gives you that realistic feel. It's so fun. So nice. And then of course, I'm bringing it down is going to kind of make it look like, oh, that they're different sizes, right? So here we go. Let's do one more, maybe a little bit straighter there. And then I'm going to do just maybe one more little section right down here in the bottom right-hand side. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so now I have my bamboo all done. I'm going to pull my little leaf back in here. I just think it's so pretty. It really adds something. So I'm going to add that right in there. And maybe one in there. Perfect. Okay, so that's it for my stamping with my old olive today. Let's go ahead and put our card together. Wait till you see how fun this is. So I will need an envelope. So I'm going to grab an envelope here in just 1 second. But until then, I am going to go in, I'm going to use I've got basic black, and then I have old olive, right? And that is the piece here that we stamped. So, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that one. But what we're going to do is we're going to layer this guy up. So there's that, and then we're going to layer that. So let's go ahead and glue these down together. And I'm going to, thank you, Miss Peyton. She ran and got me an envelope. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, and so then we're going to add this piece. And now that I'm looking at it, before I do that, I have this idea. Hang tight. I want to stamp the bamboo on this one more time. I don't know why, but it just sort of hit me, and I'm like, you know, that would look really cool on the inside. So let's just do that. Let's just do that really, really quick. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but let's just, oh, that's pretty. I love it. Okay. And then, so I have the little leaf here as well, to kind of come out just like that. Okay. So that's all done. And so this piece then is going to be glued right on top of another old olive piece. Now, if you are wondering about the sizes and the dimensions of this card, not to worry. You can go over to BrandysCards.com and you'll see a blog post for this card, and I have a downloadable PDF tutorial for you. That's right, so you can click on that, download that to computer, print that off if you would like, and you can put that in your idea and inspiration book. So that is available to you, and if you're not interested in the PDF, that's okay. I will have all of the written directions also in my blog post so that you can recreate this card. Absolutely. Now, if you can't find the card today, that's okay. Just go to the magnifying glass. You want to click on that and then type in there Bamboo Beauty. You can also type in there the name of the stamp set, which is Wild and Sweet. So then any post or any card that I've done with that will pop right up for you. And then you can click on that. One other thing is we've reorganized our navigational bar. So in our website on BrandysCards.com, so right along the top you'll see tutorials. If you click on that, go down to masculine cards, and all of my masculine cards will also pop up for you, and hopefully you'll find lots of ideas and lots of inspiration. So I just wanted to share that with you so that you knew how to find what you might be looking for. So this is basic black, and I am going to add this piece to, actually I'm going to add it to the top, but it's actually the inside. Isn't that pretty? So then I'm going to flip that around, and we are going to add this to the top. Yep, we're going to add that to the top. So we are almost done with this card. So nice. And while we're gluing things down, why don't we go ahead and just do our envelope before I show you how to bring your panda to life. Okay, so we're going to add some liquid adhesive behind our strip. I generally cut my strip at about 6 inches by 2.5, just to make sure that I have plenty of room. And then I trim around the edge of my envelope with my scissors. So that's how I do that. And so do you see this? So then I just trim around the edge. I generally just snip that piece off to kind of make it easier on myself, and then just kind of trim around the edge of your envelope flap. And so then that would add, you know, just kind of add that fun element of that stationery. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's bring back in our panda. So we have our panda here, and the blends that I'm going to use today are the soft suede. That's right, we're going to use soft suede, and we're going to use our old olive. So let's go ahead and get started. I have light and I have dark. I'm probably going to start with the dark first, and what I found is I just kind of very quickly went down around kind of where I saw that there should maybe be some darker areas. I kind of want it to look like he is, you know, happily lounging in a tree, and I want some lights and some darks in this tree. And so that's That's kind of what I am aiming for. So, you know, I'm not getting too particular as far as my coloring goes, not quite yet. Like I said, I'm just kind of adding the dark and getting that on there. Once I get the dark on there, well then I'm going to use my light soft suede. And so I'm going to take the light and I want to kind of blend this color down, but I also want to kind of leave, I don't know if you would call it like white space, but I definitely want some areas where I just kind of brush over it quickly. And so that it's, you know, it kind of looks quite a bit lighter. And see here. And so I'm just blending that nicely. And, you know, I just want that to kind of look like, you know, like he's laying on it and the lights and the darks. Very, you know, that nature type look is what I'm after, the very natural. Gosh, I wish I could be him right now. He looks super cozy, but I would definitely be afraid of falling out of the tree. But he looks super cozy. So here you go. And of course, you can go back in and you can add more, you know, of the dark if you wanted to. If you wanted to kind of make some of that a bit darker, you certainly could. Now, I do recommend kind of getting in here. Very hard to see, but just do the best you can. There are some leaves in here, and I felt like they definitely were worthy of, you know, being seen. But it is definitely hard to see. So just do the best you can. If some of your leaves end up brown, well, they do. That's okay. And to be very honest, I don't know that anybody would know the difference because they are very hard to differentiate. And so up here, oh, I missed some tree. Were y'all going to tell me that? Like, hey, hello, you've missed some tree. No, that's okay. We can fix that. We can fix that. Gosh, I think one time I colored a card for y'all and like I colored it, but I think I colored like half of like the arm and not the other arm or something. It was quite funny. And then I took pictures of it, never noticed it. And then somebody sent me an email and said, did you realize that you forgot to color the other arm? And it was like, no, I had no idea, never noticed it, even took pictures of it. Holy cow. Kind of funny, but you know, okay. So that's really pretty. I just think that's really nice. And so then you can certainly go in with like your darker one if you wanted to add some darker green in there. I don't know that you really need to. I kind of like that lighter green, especially due to the fact that it, you know, it kind of already has the dark in it due to the what do I want to say? The Memento Black. The image was stamped in that. So I'm going to take this, my dark soft suede again and just kind of circle it up. And then I might just add a little bit in here just to kind of, you know, just add a little bit of spice. And then I've got my light soft suede doing a few circles, trying not to stay in the same spot because I definitely want the color to blend, and I think I like that a lot. That looks quite nice. So that is it for my panda today. I do have some linen thread, and again, this is called the Deckled Rectangle, and I love this thing. It is just quite nice, and it is in our new 2022-23 annual catalog. That's right. So that's where you can find this rectangle, these rectangles. Now, if you don't have an annual catalog and you're interested in some of our Stampin' Up! Catalogs, let me know. I'd love the opportunity to help you. I'd love to earn your business and send you a set of complimentary catalogs. And so let me know. I'm happy to do that. And so let's go ahead and I'm just kind of tying my bow here, finishing that up. And then we're going to trim it. Yeah, we're going to trim it. And I can't wait to show you the finished card. Okay, so let's snip it. We got to kind of cut it. He was a little unruly. And then we're going to add some dimensionals right in the back. So these adhesive foam dots. If you don't have any of these, you definitely need to get some. And if you do get some and you've never used them, you're going to love them a lot. And then you're going to want to take stock in Stampin' Dimensionals. I go through so much of the dimensionals, like tons of them, like holy cow. All right, so let's add that right to the front of our card. And you can see that bamboo kind of poking out the back. It's so nice and so lovely. Now I went ahead and I pulled a stamp set called Vintage Tools, and I decided to go with It's Your Day. You could do any type of sentiment that you would like, of course, but I decided to go with It's Your Day. And then on the inside, you could stamp Happy Birthday. You could stamp Happy Father's Day. You know, you could stamp a variety of things on the inside. So that's kind of why I decided to go with It's Your Day. And I'm going to put my sentiment right about there. And so he is all done. So nice and so pretty. And then of course, when you open it up, you have that lovely inside. So that is super fun. So I'm going to just quickly stamp one more card for you. This one is black and white. I showed you that raccoon earlier. He's pretty fantastic. The stamp set that I'm going to use to finish his card is called Campology. Yeah, and we're going to use the trees. So that's what I'm going to use today. So let's go ahead and grab our Memento Black one more time. So let's grab that out. And we're going to ink this up, Memento Black. Then we are going to, now I don't have this on the Stamparatus. So you definitely want to make sure you've got a good bit of ink unless you're going to use your Stamparatus. And so I'm going to give it a good push straight down and straight up. So that turned out quite nice. And then we're going to ink it up again. We probably have 2 or 3 times of doing this because I'm going to go all the way across the bottom. So giving it kind of a good, you know, and I'm kind of changing the level of it so that, you know, you kind of get a different look along the tree line. If I kept it all the same, well, then it would look the same. And so I'm really wanting kind of different levels of my tree line. So we're going to ink it up one more time and we're going to stamp it right there. Perfect. Okay, so that is my background for my raccoon. Now the colors that I chose for this card are going to be basic black and basic gray. So those are my 2 colors. So let's go ahead. I'm going to glue this down. Now you could certainly, if you choose to do so, you could stamp the inside with your trees. You could certainly stamp, you know, you could stamp the inside with your trees. You could stamp your envelope for sure. Absolutely. But today I'm just going to show you how I put this card together, give you the idea, and then I'll let you guys, you know, figure out the fun ways you can dress up the inside or potentially the envelope. So take a look at that raccoon. Isn't he just fantastic? So cute. Oh my goodness gracious. And so on this one, I decided to pull, actually it's not this stamp set, but it's this one. I decided to pull from Friends Are Like Seashells. I'm so happy I found you. That's the sentiment that I chose for today. And here it is. I've already stamped it. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals right here behind this sentiment. And a lot of times, if you've watched my channel before, you've seen me do this. I love to wrap it around to the back. And then I can secure it here in the back. So that's pretty easy to do. And I secure it right there in the back. And then I can add it to the front of my card. That's right, you can add it to the card front. So I'm just going to add some glue back here. And let's have a look at this. And we're going to add him right to the front of our card. Now, if you would like, you could certainly use one of our matte dots. We have these classic matte dots. They're pretty awesome, and I felt like it kind of stayed with the theme. So you could use one of these and just add it here to the front if you wish. And it just kind of adds a little something more. You certainly don't have to, of course. But it does add kind of another element to that card. So here, let me bring in my panda as well. So check out your panda, and remember he has got a beautiful inside too. So that is super fun. And of course your raccoon could also have be stamped on the inside too, if you choose to do so. All right, so that is my Masculine Monday card for you. Of course, I think anybody would love this card. I would love it. I'd love either of them. But many of you are looking for those cards for those special guys in your life, and I am super excited to challenge myself a little bit to kind of focus on those maybe more neutral colors and blues and greens and some nature type things I've done in the past. We did some kayaks and boats, so we did the adventurous guy in your life. We also kind of did a beach scene, which was really fun. So lots of fun stuff here, and I hope that now that we're a few weeks into our masculine series, your wheels are spinning and you're like, I got this, I can do it. Because you can. It's all about just having fun and creating. And I can tell you that any gentleman in your life is going to love any card that you create for them, even if it has a bright pink flower on it. I promise you, right? Because you created it. So before I go, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know. I'd love the opportunity to help you. I'd love to be able to earn your business, answer any questions that you have. And you can just go over to BrandysCards.com/contact, and there you can email me your mailing address, and I'll send you a set of complimentary catalogs. If you're one of my current customers, thank you for your business. I'm so grateful for you, and I love receiving all of your cards in the mail. It is so much fun. I look forward to going out to the mailbox every day. And many of you know Amanda, who works for me, and sometimes I have to beat her to the mailbox because she enjoys it too. So just a testimony to how wonderful it is to receive that happy mail in the mail. So the moral of the story is I hope that you're stamping and crafting, but I hope that you're sending your cards and bringing love and joy to others through your creation. So you have the power and the ability to do that. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you get stamping and that you get making some masculine cards. Take care, everybody. Bye now.